Hey, come sit with me for a minute. I want to talk about something that I think you already know deep in your heart. You understand English. Really, you watch videos and you follow along, you read articles and you get the meaning. Someone speaks to you and you nod because you understand. But then, someone asks you a question back, and suddenly, nothing comes out. Your mind goes quiet. Your mouth does not move the way you want it to. And you feel stuck, trapped almost, between understanding so much and saying so little. This is one of the most painful feelings for an English learner because it feels unfair. You worked hard. You know grammar rules. You know thousands of words. Your understanding proves that. So why can't your mouth just do the same thing? I want you to hear this clearly today. This is not because you are not smart enough. This is not because you are bad at languages. This happens to millions of learners all around the world. And there is a real reason behind it. A reason that actually makes complete sense once you understand it. Listening and speaking are not the same skill. They live in different parts of your ability. Understanding is like watching someone swim from the side of the pool. You see the movements. You understand what they are doing. But watching is not the same as swimming yourself. Your arms need their own practice. Your legs need their own practice. Understanding alone cannot teach your body to swim. Speaking is exactly the same. Your mouth needs its own separate practice, not just your brain. Today I want to show you exactly how to close this gap. The gap between understanding and speaking. We will look at 3 lessons together. Lesson 1 will show you why this gap exists and why it is not your fault at all. Lesson 2 will give you a simple daily practice that slowly builds your speaking muscle. Even if you feel completely alone right now, Lesson 3 will show you how to remove fear from your speaking practice, so your words can finally come out freely. Stay with me until the end. Because today, we start closing this gap. For real. Let's begin. Let's start with something simple but very important. When you listen to English, or when you read English, your brain is doing something called passive learning. This means English comes to you. You receive it. You do not have to create anything yourself. The words are already there, already built. You just need to understand them. But speaking is completely different. Speaking is active. This means you have to create English yourself. From nothing. You have to choose the words, put them in order, and produce the sounds. All in real time, while someone is waiting for your answer. These are 2 very different jobs for your brain. Passive learning and active production. And here is the important part. Being strong at one does not automatically make you strong at the other. Let me explain this with something from real life. Think about cooking. You can watch cooking videos every single day. You can understand every single step perfectly. You know when to add salt. You know when to turn the heat down. Your understanding is excellent. But if I put you in a real kitchen right now and asked you to cook a full meal from memory, would it come out perfectly? Probably not. Not the first time. Because watching and doing use different parts of your ability. Your hands have not practiced yet, even though your eyes and your brain understand everything perfectly. Speaking English works exactly the same way. Let me tell you about a student named Fareed. Fareed loved watching English movies. No subtitles needed anymore. He understood almost everything. He read English news every morning. He finished English books in a few weeks. His understanding was honestly impressive. But when Fareed moved to a new country for work, he struggled badly in meetings, not because he did not understand his colleagues. He understood them perfectly. The problem came when it was his turn to speak. His mind understood the topic completely, but his mouth simply had not practiced producing English on the spot, under real pressure, in real time. Fareed felt confused and frustrated. He kept asking himself, how can I understand so much and still feel so lost when I open my mouth? The answer is simple once you see it clearly. Fareed had spent years training his passive understanding, but almost no time training his active speaking. His ears were strong. His mouth was still a beginner. This is probably true for you too. And I want you to feel relief hearing this. Not shame. Relief. Because this means the problem is not your intelligence. The problem is simply an imbalance in your practice. And imbalances can be fixed. Here is something important about how your brain works too. Every time you speak a sentence out loud, even a simple one, you are building a new pathway in your brain. A physical connection. Speaking is like walking through tall grass in a field. The first time you walk through, it feels difficult. Slow, the grass pushes back against you. But if you walk the same path again and again, slowly a clear path appears. Easier to walk, faster, smoother. That is exactly what happens when you speak the same phrases and ideas out loud repeatedly. You are walking through the grass, creating a real path, a real habit. Listening alone does not create that path. Only speaking does. So here is your exercise for lesson 1. And I want you to actually try this right now. Not just think about it. Think of a simple topic. Your day today, your family, your favorite food. Choose just one. Now speak about it out loud. In English. For 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. Do not worry about mistakes. Do not worry about perfect grammar. Just let your mouth try to produce English about something simple and real. Notice how this feels different from listening or reading. Notice the small pauses. The moments where you search for a word. This is normal. This is your speaking muscle, working for the first time in a while. Maybe even feeling a little weak. And that is completely okay. This is lesson 1. Understanding and speaking are two different skills. You are not weak or slow. You simply need to start training the second one, just like Fareed eventually did. One honest attempt at a time. Now let's move to lesson 2. And I know this might sound a little strange at first, but please trust me here. I want you to talk to yourself. Every single day. Out loud. In English. I know how that sounds. Maybe a little funny. Maybe a little embarrassing even to imagine. But this is one of the most powerful tools for building real speaking ability. And here is why it works so well. Most learners only try to speak English when another person is present. A teacher, a friend, a stranger. But this means your very first attempts at speaking always happen under pressure. With someone watching you, someone waiting for your answer. Someone who might notice your mistakes, That is an incredibly difficult way to start building a skill. Imagine learning to ride a bicycle for the very first time, but only being allowed to try it in front of a large crowd of people watching you. You would feel so nervous. Your body would feel stiff. You would probably fall more, not because you cannot ride a bicycle, but because fear makes everything harder. Talking to yourself removes that audience completely. It gives you a safe space to practice, just you. No judgment, no waiting eyes, just your own voice, slowly getting stronger. Let me tell you about a student named Wei. Wei was intelligent. Wei studied English grammar deeply. But Wei was also extremely shy. The idea of making a mistake in front of another person felt almost frightening. So Wei avoided speaking practice completely. For years. Someone suggested something simple to Wei. Talk to yourself. At home, alone, just describe your day out loud. Nobody is listening. Nobody is judging. At first, Wei felt silly, standing alone in the kitchen, saying things like, "Now I am making tea," or "The weather is cold today," talking to empty air. But Wei kept doing it, a few minutes every day, describing simple things, simple actions, simple thoughts, all out loud, all alone. After a few weeks, something shifted. Wei noticed that words started coming out more easily, not perfectly, but more easily, because Wei's mouth had already practiced producing these thoughts many times before in private, without any fear at all. Then one day, Wei was in a real conversation with a coworker, and a sentence came out smoothly, without long painful pauses. Wei was surprised, but really, it made complete sense. Wei had already said similar sentences many times before, alone in the kitchen. The path through the grass was already there. This is the quiet power of talking to yourself. It builds real speaking strength without the heavy weight of fear sitting on top of it. So here is exactly how you can start this today. Choose a simple daily moment. Maybe while you are cooking. Maybe while you are getting dressed. Maybe while you are walking somewhere close by. During this moment, describe what you are doing, out loud, in English. Simple sentences. Nothing fancy. For example, if you are making coffee, you might say, "Now I am putting water in the cup. The coffee smells really good today. I am adding a little sugar." If you are getting ready in the morning, you might say, "I am choosing my shirt. It is a little cold today, so I need a jacket. I am almost ready to leave." It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be interesting. It just needs to be spoken out loud by you. Regularly, here is your exercise for Lesson 2. Choose one daily activity starting today, something you already do every single day anyway, and simply add English narration to it. Speaking out loud about what you are doing. Just 2 or 3 minutes is enough. This is Lesson 2. Talk to yourself every day. Out loud. Build your speaking muscle in a safe private space first, just like Wei did before bringing it out into the real world. Now for Lesson 3. This is the final piece, and it connects everything together beautifully. I want you to start recording your own voice, speaking English, and then listen back to it. I know this can feel uncomfortable. Many people hate hearing their own voice recorded. That is actually very normal. Almost everyone feels this way at first. But this small, uncomfortable habit holds incredible power for your speaking growth. Here is why. When you speak out loud, in the moment, your brain is busy doing many things at once, thinking of words, building sentences, worrying about mistakes. There is very little space left over to actually notice how you sound. But when you record yourself and then listen back later, something changes. You become the listener now, not the speaker under pressure. You can notice things calmly. Where you paused, which sounds felt smooth, which words felt difficult to say. This creates something very valuable. Awareness without pressure. And awareness is the first step toward real improvement. Let me tell you about a student named Camila. Camila practiced speaking often. She talked to herself. She used simple sentences from her daily life. She was doing many things right already. But Camila felt stuck at a certain level. She could not quite tell what was holding her back. Her teacher suggested something simple. Record yourself for 1 minute, just talking about your day. Then listen back. Camila felt nervous the first time. She almost did not want to press play. But she did, and she noticed something interesting. Her English was actually much better than she believed. Her grammar was mostly correct. Her vocabulary was good. But she noticed she paused very often. Long pauses between almost every sentence. This was valuable information, not something to feel ashamed about, just useful awareness. Now Camila knew exactly what to work on. Not vocabulary, not grammar, just smoother connections between her sentences. Fewer long silent gaps. She started practicing shorter, simpler sentences, connected together more smoothly. And she recorded herself again the following week. This time, the pauses were shorter. The flow felt more natural. She could actually hear her own progress with her own ears. That gave her something incredibly powerful. Real proof, not just a feeling. Real proof that her speaking was truly improving. This is the gift of recording yourself. It turns invisible progress into something you can actually hear, something real, something you can be proud of. So here is how to start this practice yourself. Once a week, choose a simple topic. Your weekend. Your favorite hobby. Your plans for tomorrow. Record yourself speaking about it for 1 minute. Just your phone. Nothing fancy needed. Then listen back. But listen with kindness, not harsh criticism. You are not looking for every single mistake. You are simply noticing. Where did I pause? What felt smooth? What sentence made me proud? Save that first recording somewhere safe. Then continue your daily practice, talking to yourself, practicing simple sentences. After 2 weeks, record yourself again on a similar topic. Then go back and listen to your very first recording. Compare them gently, not judging your past self, but celebrating how far your voice has already traveled. This is lesson 3. Record yourself and listen back without harsh judgment. Let your own voice show you your own progress. Real proof. Not just hope. Let's bring everything together now. Lesson 1 taught you that understanding and speaking are 2 separate skills. You are not behind. You simply need to train the second one, just like Fareed eventually learned to do. Lesson 2 taught you to talk to yourself every day, out loud, in a safe, private space, building your speaking muscle slowly, without the fear of judgment sitting on your shoulders. Lesson 3 taught you to record yourself regularly. and listen back with kindness, turning invisible progress into real proof that you can actually hear with your own ears. I want you to really understand something important right now. That painful gap between understanding so much and speaking so little. It is not a wall that stays there forever. It is simply a gap that closes slowly through small, honest daily actions. Fareed did not close his gap in one single day. Wei did not lose all shyness overnight. Camila did not become perfectly smooth after just one single recording. They all took small steps, repeated across days, across weeks, sometimes feeling a little uncomfortable, sometimes feeling a little slow. But that discomfort is not a sign of failure. It is simply a sign of real growth happening. Just like sore muscles after the first day at the gym, it does not mean something is wrong. It means something new is finally being built. You do not need to wait until you feel ready to start speaking. Nobody ever truly feels ready. Not at the beginning. You simply start. Small, imperfect, honest, and slowly. Day by day. Readiness arrives on its own as a quiet result of your practice, not as something you wait for before you begin. So here is what I want you to do right now. Before you close this video, choose one simple thing you are doing in the next hour today. Getting dressed, making food, walking somewhere close by, and describe it out loud, in English, just for 1 minute, right now. Or as soon as this video ends, that one small minute today. Repeated tomorrow and the day after. Slowly builds the exact path we talked about earlier, the path through the tall grass. Clearer, smoother, easier, every single time you walk it. You already understand so much English. That part of you is already strong. Now we simply give your voice the same chance to grow. The same patience. The same daily care. If this video helped you today, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps other learners find this message when they need it most. And if you want to keep closing this gap together with me, subscribe, because in the next video, we're going to talk about exactly what to say when your mind suddenly goes blank in a real conversation. Simple phrases that buy you time and keep you talking even when you feel stuck. Until then, talk to yourself a little today. Record your voice this week. And be patient and kind with your own progress. I believe in you. I really do. See you in the next video.